Not all foreclosures are the same. If you're like a lot of people, your mindset is a foreclosure is a home that's dilapidated, it smells bad, it hadn't been maintained or taken care of. There's houses just like this one all around the country I'm gonna walk you through. And you can see it's like private, it's got some wooded. We're gonna walk through, it's less than 2,000 square feet. There's houses like this all around the country. Unfortunately, they're bankruptcy sales. The bank owns this property. I'm gonna walk you around it and through it so you can see and know. I'm also gonna share with you a quick website on how you can actually see every single house like this, regardless of where you live in the country. Doesn't matter the city, the county, the state, you'll have the complete list and full access to that. It's also very important to know that there are opportunities like this. And listen, it's really frustrating to me, all of the negative, right? It's hard for me to even come up with stuff that's negative, man. People ask me my blood type. I'm like, it's be positive, be positive, be positive. God gave you what you have, be grateful, be thankful. Unfortunately, people fall on hard times, and I hate it. I've been there and done that. I tell everybody, man, that's why I produce all these videos and this information so people can learn and know from what I've banged my head on the wall against. I'm a big believer in you learn it, you master it, you teach it, and you share your mistakes with people so they don't have to make the same. This house is a foreclosure. This house is listed for $320,500. Now, it's less than 2,000 square feet. It's less than 3 years old. But as I walk you through and around, you'll see it's all brick, which is rare. It has a covered back porch, it has a covered front porch, it has double doors, it has so many cool features on the inside. You would think you were walking through a 4,000 square foot home. And this home can be purchased with a USDA loan, United States Department of Agriculture, because this house sits about 40 minutes outside of New Orleans. But yet I am 5 minutes from Home Depot, Lowe's, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, and you name it. It's super convenient to everything. And there's houses like this all around the country. I'm just trying to get the word out and the news out and the information out because I'm just kind of bumfuzzled that not more people are doing this because the opportunity is there. But here's where the rubber meets the road. The magic has to happen when you got a 620 or higher credit score. You have to have a credit score of 620 or higher. You have to show proof of income, being on the job for 2 years. You can't make more than typically around $112,000, but that does vary depending on your state and the county that you live in. If you're out in Los Angeles, California, for example, you're gonna have to be on the way outskirts. These houses are USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. That means they're in rural areas, AKA suburban areas. Like you can't be in the heart of Nashville, you can't be in the heart of Orlando, New Orleans, but if you want to live and willing to live and would like to live just 30, 40 minutes outside of a major metropolitan area, you can buy a house just like this one for literally only $1,000 total out of pocket. So let's take a quick look on the inside so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Not blowing smoke, not pulling a rabbit out of my hat. This is the real deal. Wait just a second, the camera has to adjust to the light. We just come out of sunlight. Now we're going into here. 10-foot ceilings. You see that? That's just sexy right there. Coffered ceilings. Coffered ceilings are something they put in homes that are $500,000-$600,000 plus brand new homes. Big wide baseboards, open floor plan, literally wide plank LTV luxury vinyl tile. Look at the countertops. Cabinets underneath the bar. Undermounted sink, stainless appliances. That pantry is a walk-in pantry. And something I'm a big fan of. I'm a huge fan of this. I love being in my kitchen. I like to cook a lot. I love being in my kitchen and can see out the front window. Something about that, man, just makes it feel like home. When I can be in my house and see people coming in the driveway and like, oh, they're there, we have guests, we had company. I mean, you can see crown mold, everything as I walk you through. You can get a house like this. If you make more than $112,000 a year, you can get an FHA loan, which is typically the max amount on that is just over $500,000. So this home at $320,500 would fall into that. And you also have to know that, like I said, there's houses like this all around the country. There's a bathroom here, there's a bedroom here, there's a bedroom here, and then this is the utility room. Washer and dryer utility room, has a sink, has cabinets. I mean, it's not a huge house, but I will show you the main bedroom. which, look, if you learn this, this is a split bedroom floor plan. So if anybody says anything, say, hey, Wayne Turner, that dude on YouTube is like, has all these videos, has over 1 million followers on all these platforms, said there's a split floor plan. If you're gonna build a house, put these double doors in. It just makes it sexy, makes it nice, and it's something that's never gonna go away. Yes, this is a foreclosure. How do you know? Look for this right here. Papers in the window. See papers in the window, it tells you. It also says no trespassing, so you gotta have a real estate agent to work with you. I'm a real estate broker, have been for 30 years. I almost forgot. Back over here to the bedroom. So this is the main room, and look what they did here. Even this room has a coffered ceiling. And I tell everyone, if you're gonna build a house, if you're out there, you're a builder, you're flipping or anything like that, I don't care if the room is 10 by 10. Put 2 windows in a bedroom. Do not build a house. I'm telling you, I know what people like. There's a reason why I've sold thousands and thousands of houses. Don't build a room with just 1 window pushed to the side. You can put a bed, a twin, a king, anything right there. The bath in this one, it's pretty cool. Double vanities. Vanity there, vanity there. It's also raised 42 inches, so you don't have to bend over as much. Garden tub. Look at this. Walk-in closet, California style. Listen, these houses are out there. Anybody can bid on them. What's really cool, they're listed with real estate brokerage companies most of the time. Nice big shower, potty closet right there. You potty all the time. Now, you can also buy these houses with conventional loans. Now, if you buy a house like this home will go FHA and USDA. Why? Because it has an oven. You gotta have an oven in it. This one has a dishwasher, microwave, and a refrigerator left in it, which is rare for foreclosures, but they're out there. You just have to do a little digging. You go to findmyforeclosure.com, as I mentioned. It's not a free website. Full disclosure. That information, and to get that information, to keep that site up and going for 20 plus years, it's very expensive, and unfortunately, they charge you for it. There's a few things falling apart. That was an old doorknob. Covered back porch, but the cost is just 40 bucks a month, and you can cancel at any time. So if you decide you don't want to have it, but it doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent and you want to see short sales, bankruptcy sales, tax liens, or anything like that, you can see this house. And I hope I don't bore you by walking around. I'm just trying to give you really good information so you can know you can buy a house like this and get an FHA loan. You only need 3.5%. The bank will pay your closing costs. Some banks, like this one, they keep an open mind and say, hey, if you come to us, why don't you let us have the opportunity to look at your credit and give you the money to buy the house? Because we have the loan, we own the home now. We can loan you the money because they call it the vendee. In other words, they are willing to do, some people say seller financing because they're the owner, they're the seller. But what it boils down to is the bank's actually creating a 30-year note, and you can purchase it with 5% down, 10% down. You have to know this though. Whenever you buy a house and you have USDA, FHA, you're gonna have to pay private mortgage insurance. And if you're gonna put 20% more down on any piece of property, always go a conventional loan. You do not want to do an FHA or USDA because when you do FHA or USDA, you will have to pay private mortgage insurance forever. Forever, you can't get it taken off anymore unless you refinance it to a conventional loan. You also want to look at a VA loan. So if you're looking at a house like this, you can do a Veterans Administration loan if you've served in the military, whether you're active duty or you have an honorable discharge, you have your DD-214, you've got your documentation. Listen, I tell people you can reach out to us. If your credit score 620, you've been on the job, we have agents all around the country. And I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I just think that anybody in this country needs to know the opportunity to be able to purchase a house like this one. Big, small, they're in all price ranges. $125,000. I seen one the other day in Slidell, Louisiana. It was 912 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bath on 1 level. Nice little house for $105,000. I'm like, there's people out there that are retired and be like, that's all I need, Wayne. $105,000. Hell, I can put $50,000 down and have a mortgage payment of $350, $400 a month. So here's another opportunity. But unfortunately, it happens to people. The good news is there's more to it than this. You see, when you buy a foreclosure, you still reserve the right to do a home inspection on the property. Many times the banks will not turn the utilities on in the house, but you can have them turned on. They'll give you permission to turn them on. This is what I always tell folks. You want to make sure you're doing a home inspection on that house, whether they will do any repairs or not. And 99% of the time, they don't do any repairs. They're saying, nope, selling it as is, where it is, which is fine. But you still know that you reserve the right to do the home inspection, typically within 10 to 14 days of what you put in the contract. Your agent that's working for you on your behalf, a good agent knows, let's put 14 days in there so we can get the septic inspected, the well inspected, if it's on a septic and a well system, and you can have everything inspected in the property, the HVAC inspected, the electrical, the plumbing. If you want a plumbing inspection, run it from the house, the sewer lines to the street, whatever that may be. But the bank won't fix anything. They won't repair anything. So at least you'll know, okay, well, hey, I can still buy the house, but this has to be fixed. Now, here's where you have to know the difference in if there's major work that has to be done on the house, the banks won't loan you the money. The FHA won't insure the loan. The reason being is because they want to make sure that you're buying the house, you have a little money out of pocket. You're not going to have to scrape money to fix the house. They want to make sure you got a good house that's habitable, that you can move in and live in and call it your own. So if there's any kind of busted, cracked sewer lines or septic systems that don't work or anything like that, they won't loan you the money. The good news is, please know this, the good news is on a house that you're buying like this, if the septic system is messed up or the well's messed up, those big items, the banks will address those, the banks will fix those. Here's what's also very important to hang on to. The banks, before they put these homes on the market, they actually have them inspected. They make sure the well and the septic and all that is up and working. And if it's not, many times they will fix it. You have to know this though about banks. It's up to the bank's discretion. Like, we live in a free country, right? And banks start loaning money. And banks are built by people, and they loan money. And people can buy houses, and people can own houses. So it's up to the bank. Every single bank's different. There's no guidelines that says, okay, every bank has to fix a septic system or HVAC or whatever it may be. Just know this, if a house is sat empty for a while, you don't know how long it's sat empty. So please, if you're gonna buy any house that's vacant, any house that's been empty, distress sales, foreclosure sales, estate sales, you wanna ask the neighbor, how long do you think it's been empty? Knock on that door and say, hey, I'd like to be your neighbor one day, but I had a couple of questions. How long has it been sitting empty? How long has it been vacant? Oh, about 2 years, about 1.5 years. Well, if you live in a cold climate and it hasn't been winterized, where they physically go in and blow out the air lines, blow out the lines, they'll say it's winterized. Banks will winterize it, but they don't blow out the lines. They'll just put solution in it. You have to know that there's still water sitting in those pipes, and oftentimes they can burst. That's why I say do a plumbing inspection. Once you do those inspections, and you know it's free and clear, you're good to go. But it's so important to talk to the neighbors because you just never know when somebody has vandalized their house. People get frustrated because they can't pay their mortgage and the bank tells them to move and they get mad at the bank. Well, at the end of the day, you sign about 12 documents that say if you don't pay, you don't stay. It's just that simple. And people get frustrated. I've seen them pour concrete down the drains and things like that. Just know this, you reserve the right to do the inspection. If you find something that's not working to its intended function, you can ask the bank to fix it. If they say no, they don't want to fix it, you get your deposit back, move on down the road. Now, I do a lot of these videos, and to me, a lot of this stuff is common sense. And I have literally, for 30 years, just asked questions and asked questions and asked questions. My mom and dad used to tell me when I was a kid, like, Lord, he asks a lot of questions. My mom used to say, that's how he learns. And I'm gonna tell you, I've learned a lot over the years. When you buy a house, you always have to look at resale. So this house right here has got good road frontage. That's the side of the house. House has a storage building. Look at the trees. People like trees. It gives you some privacy, it gives you some security. Some people want those things cut down. I have 16 trees in my backyard. That pine tree right there is probably about 50 years old. Hell, it's damn near as old as me. I ain't gonna cut it down. It's been swinging this long, you know? But you got to look at road frontage. You got a good road frontage, you got nice trees. Here's another thing that's really cool. You have access. Whenever you have access to the backyard of a house, it gives it even more. If there's no HOA, there's no HOA, no homeowners association, plus you have access. So you got to look at this. Okay, what about in the future when I go to sell it? If somebody has a boat, a motorhome, a trailer, anything like that, that gives them access. It also allows me a little bit more enjoyment to the property because look, there's no privacy fence here, but you could put a split picket, you could do a privacy fence, you could gate it, you could do anything. You could fence in the whole property, and before you roll up, click a button and have a remote. The point I'm trying to make is there's lots of opportunities for anybody out there looking to buy these houses. You can go to findmyforeclosure.com. You can see them all. If you've got a good real estate agent, reach out to your real estate agent because they can show them to you. If you don't have an agent, you need an agent. You don't have a lender, you need to get approved. You can go to contactwayne.com. We can connect you with somebody regardless of where you are in the country. My mission is to help as many people as I can, because there's so many people out there, and I can't emphasize enough. You don't hear this on Fox News, MSN, CNBC. All you see is just the housing market's gonna crash, and I got news for you. 30-year veteran in this real estate business, housing market's not gonna crash. We have literally just went to war. Housing market's not gonna crash. Actually, just the opposite happens. Inflation goes up, people suck back, they push money into the market, push money to people, people start buying stuff, it creates a little bit of inflation, and actually homes go up in value. So I tell people, you gotta look for those windows. Right now is a good window. They may or may not reduce the rates again in this 2026 year, but I have a good feeling they probably will. If the war prolongs for 6 or 7 months, they'll leave the rates at around 6%. If they dissolve it within the next 3 to 4 months, they'll end up adjusting the rates downwards. You'll see rates at 5.75% on a 30-year fixed rate. So I'm Wayne Turner. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something from this. That's my ultimate goal in every single video, is to teach you something. I'm a big believer in you learn it, you master it, and you teach it. Until next time, thank you, and God bless.